Welcome to the Orlando Invitational as part of ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. A trip to the championship game is up for grabs here at Walt Disney World as 6-1 USC locks up with 4-1 Marquette. Unbeaten Maryland is already through to the final. The Terps rallied from 11 down to beat Harvard. But another sterling effort from Anthony Cowan. The senior guard had 20 points. Ted Emmerich, Andy Kennedy, so glad you could be with us. AK, last night, Marcus Howard was electrifying again. He willed Marquette past Davidson.
He stepped up like an All-American that he is, Ted. 40 points, 11 for 26 from the field. Got to the free throw line 15 times. Scored 14 of their last 17, 4 for 4 from the field, a couple of three-pointers. As you said, willed his team to this semifinal matchup. Incredible performance, an Orlando Invitational record.
His 5th career 40-point game. He said that Steve Wojciechowski, his coach, gave him a look, and he knew it was time to take over. He was also 13 of 15 at the line. Well, USC wasn't at its best in a win over Fairfield, but freshman Onyeka Okongwu racked up another double-double.
Yeah, I love this kid. I love his approach to the game. He's still a pup, a baby, figuring it out at this level, but he has all of the physical tools. 14 and 10, throw in 3 blocks, very efficient. I thought USC was sleepwalking early. Luckily, they woke up in order to get to the semifinal.
Now, they were down by 8 in the first half before winning by 7. Starting lineups today in the semifinals, Elijah Weaver and Jonah Matthews gave the Trojans a lift, especially early in the second half. Meanwhile, for Marquette, it's clear Marcus Howard can't do it by himself, even after what occurred last night. Kobe McEwen, Marquette's second leading scorer, just 3 points in 32 minutes. He was 0 for 8 from the floor.
Yeah, he really struggled. I'm going to tell you a guy that really stepped up for him, in my opinion. Sakar Annam was terrific in the second half, most especially. He was second in scoring with 12 points per game and super efficient with 5 for 9.
Steve Wojciechowski in his 6th season as Marquette's head coach, picking up career win 101 last night in the quarterfinals, and Andy Enfield for USC in his 7th year with the Trojans. USC, of course, in the Cardinal and gold. Marquette in the white. Off we go. The winner will play number 5 Maryland in the championship on Sunday.
Last night, I thought Marquette did an outstanding job of pressuring the basketball and not allowing Davidson to find their offensive rhythm. It looks like that's the game plan for this matchup as well.
Okongwu leaning in. He draws an early foul from Theo John, who fouled out in just 10 minutes last night. Andy Enfield, there he is, his 7th year with USC, back in the state of Florida. Of course, we remember Dunk City, the Sweet 16 run with FGCU back in 2013.
Bad signing for Marquette, as you said, Ted. Theo John was a non-factor last night. Their best interior defender against a big, strong USC front line. It is important for him to stay in the game. Last night, early foul trouble, late foul trouble. Got no rhythm whatsoever.
Yeah, both John and Brendan Bailey fouled out from Marquette. They've got to have those front line guys in against the likes of Okongwu, Nick Rakocevic, and Isaiah Mobley, the McDonald's All-American, who comes off the bench. John denied at the rim. Here's freshman point guard Ethan Anderson. Coast to coast for USC.
Ethan Anderson doing it all himself, leads the Trojans at over 5 assists a game. Fantastic defensive play. Took it himself for the left-handed layup.
Anderson did not score yesterday in the quarterfinals in 16 minutes of work. Howard from the elbow, he's on the board early.
And what's crazy, Ted, that is a good defensive job by Jonah Matthews. Just a better offensive player. Marcus Howard makes it look easy. Difficult pull-up, oversized.
Marquette's all-time leading scorer with 2,080 points, Marcus Howard. There's Jonah Matthews, the 3-year starter. And we're heading the other way. Offensive foul against Rakocevic, Andy.
Yeah, Rakocevic struggled last night. You know, had some real issues getting into the flow of the game. But this guy, as you said, did not score last night. He took care of that rather quickly. Great defensive play, great push from the assist leader. He showed you he could score it as well. as you said, now I guess he's made his last 5. We had to go back about 20
you can build
hours.
That bridge, yeah.
But now he's made 5 in a row, finished the game on an incredible tear, 4 for 4. Starts off the way that you would like if you're a Golden Eagles fan.
He didn't sleep. He just stayed in the gym all night, Thanksgiving night. John again denied underneath. Anderson comes away with it. Weaver, the lefty, couldn't finish. Annam in transition for Marquette, the scoop. He's fouled.
Good job of drawing contact, going up against a prolific shot blocker in Okongwu. Smart in that he tried to get to the other side of the rim, forcing Okongwu to get him with his body, where he'll get to the free throw line.
And Andy, for Steve Wojciechowski and Marquette, isn't it good to see Annam assert himself? That's so important. Wojo has talked to him here early this season. Hey, I know you don't want to force the action. Be aggressive. You can be that kind of player. Be that complimentary scorer next to Howard.
You know, and he certainly was last night, as we talked about the struggles of Kobe McEwen, who was 0 for 8 from the field. Theo John in foul trouble. They needed someone to step up, and he did so last night. You can tell it did wonders for his confidence because he's come out with a different approach in Game 2 in Orlando.
Okongwu going high-low with Rakocevic. That's important for Nick Rakocevic, who wanted a foul. No whistle from Doug Sermons, but USC has the lead.
He really struggled yesterday. 2 for 9, never into the flow. Did not play well in their loss against Temple. It's a good sign for Trojan fans to get him off the board early.
Good contest there from Jonah Matthews on Marcus Howard. And now foul, Elijah Weaver sweeping toward the basket.
Elijah Weaver and Jonah Matthews combined for 27 in yesterday's win. We're 9 for 15 combined from the field and 5 for 8 from the free throw line. We're terrific in the second half. I really like these two guards. They complement one another well. They're both really shifty in the open floor, and we saw that, allowing Weaver to get to the free throw line.
Weaver grabbed the starting point guard job for USC late last season from Derek Thornton, who transferred to Boston College. We talked about it a little bit last night. For Weaver, the question is he a true point guard? Is he a combo guard? In any event, he can be a top scorer for USC.
He's a lead guard who can make the necessary plays. The days of point guards dominating the ball, unless you're Marcus Howard, those days are over. USC has plenty of skill across the board not to put all of the ball handling responsibilities on Weaver.
Howard has the step. The floater is in, but an offensive foul.
Great team D again. Once we saw it earlier against Theo John. That's that same guy. That's Ethan Anderson directly outside of the arc. Good call, bang, bang. Early foul on Marcus Howard.
Anderson the spin against Howard. And a foul on USC. That is on Anderson.
Yeah, tried to follow his own, got a little aggressive. He has certainly made his mark early in this game. Primarily a setup guy, but terrific defensively, as we've seen 2 outstanding defensive plays. A little aggressive there over the back. I like that action. We saw that last night. Little handoff action. They don't get anything off the initial, and then Marcus Howard does what Marcus Howard does. Drive it, play off 2 feet, set up his big man inside for a layup.
Howard the distributor this time, finding Theo John. Matthews. Marquette with the steal.
He's going to pull up.
Well, Howard thought about it, giving it up to Brendan Bailey. In and out.
Shows you, man, Marcus Howard has a great feel, good tempo to his game. USC obviously has a size advantage. He didn't like the initial look, found an open teammate, and Bailey played well last night, I thought.
Rakocevic leaning in against Bailey. Count it, plus the foul.
Rakocevic just comes at you and at you, initiating contact with every bounce. Has the ability to find angles. Watch him here. Set you up to the middle, to spin to the baseline, then leads with his elbow right through your face and gets to the free throw line. I'm not sure there's many other walks of life you could lead with your elbow to the face and get rewarded.
Preseason first team all Pac-12, Andy, and Kosovic coming in his last 2 games, a combined 4 of 16 from the floor.
Well, I think Andy Enfield sat him for a majority of the second half yesterday, and I think that got his attention. He's playing with a much greater sense of urgency here in the semifinals.
Howard fumbled it. He's called for the travel.
Yeah, a little weave action, just mishandled it. Turnovers have been a problem for Marquette early. Last night I thought they did a good job. Only 13 and really settled down in the second half when they pulled away to get the win against Davidson, but they've struggled. Almost 16 turnovers a game to this point in the season.
Now that's their 3rd turnover in their first 4 minutes. Now a foul on Marquette. This crew of Joe DeRosa, Doug Sermons, Bart Lennox are calling a lot here in the first 4 minutes. Timeout. Marcus Howard finding Theo John for the bucket. We've got a good one here in Orlando. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida. Here in Orlando's semifinal round of the Orlando Invitational, USC up 9-5 over Marquette. Ted Emmerich, Andy Kennedy, our entire crew. Nick Kosovic last night in the quarterfinals, just 2 of 9 from the floor, 5 points. Just in the first 4+ minutes today, 5 points on 2 of 2 from the field, including a 3-point play.
Well, this is a guy that's had a good career in USC. He certainly scored and rebound the ball. I thought he was just off last night, maybe pressing after the disappointing loss to Temple. Body language was not great. Didn't play to his standard. That has been corrected. He has been outstanding out of the gate, where USC has a decisive size advantage inside.
And Weaver gives USC the 6-point lead with that jumper.
I like that kid. He is instant offense, and he is always in attack mode. Point guard, 2, doesn't really matter. He's a baller.
Howard off the curl. That's a swish, but it's a flop. Doug Sermons with the call.
You're talking about a baller. This guy needs very little space. It's what makes him such an elite scorer. Very small window of opportunity. Marcus Howard shows you what it looks like. Man, I don't know if I agree with that call. Yeah, we beat it up ad nauseum yesterday. The officials are doing what they're informed to do. However, I'm not sure that was flop worthy.
The 3 counts, but again, the flop goes down on the ledger as well. Howard misfires this time. And again, it's a warning for that first flop. The second one would result in a technical foul.
Which we saw
last night as Howard cans another 3 to tie the score at 11.
We saw a lot of those last night, too. Yeah. This guy is a special scorer, all-time leading scorer, already in the rich history of Marquette basketball, and he is playing with great confidence in these semifinals.
Foul on the perimeter against Kobe McEwen. Howard was 5 of 10 from long range last night against Davidson. A couple of threes early on here. 8 points, 8 out of the 11.
Well, last night he did yeoman's work with scoring 40 of their 73, including 14 of their last 17, and assisted on the only other basket. So he is certainly capable of carrying the load. He's just starting a little earlier today.
Anderson high off the glass. It's not there. And a foul against USC. That'll be on Anderson. Again, a bit of a frustration foul.
And that's his second foul, which is problematic for USC, as we have already seen. He may be their best team defender.
Full stat line for Marcus Howard. We hope that you joined us on Thanksgiving night. A tournament record 40 points for Marcus Howard. He scored 14 of his team's final 17 in the last 4 minutes.
Same action. They get Howard off the ball, run him on some baseline screening to free him up, allow him to catch and shoot. Great decision there on penetration and pitch to his teammate Kane, who I thought helped them in the second half last night as well.
Rakocevic is surrounded. Couldn't convert.
Great double team. They were there on the catch of the ball inside by Rakocevic. Too much traffic, got to kick that out.
Howard on the drive this time, and the foul is called.
Always in attack mode, that guy. Middle penetration. Up, under, savvy. Last night got to the free throw line 15 times, a career 90% shooter. Some guys know how to get fouled. He is certainly one of those guys, as evidenced by that replay.
So let me put Andy Kennedy in Andy Enfield's shoes for a moment. How do you try to contain Howard? Just try to slow him down a little bit.
Well, I think you've got to be smart. SC's advantage in the backcourt is with their length. You've got to gap Howard in team defending. You can't press up on him or he's going to drive by you. He plays low to the ground. He is super explosive off the bounce. You've got to gap him with your length and then really shrink the floor with your help side defense.
Howard gives Marquette its first lead today. Isaiah Mobley, the McDonald's All-American.
We've had a shift change for USC, a lot of new guys in the game. Marquette continues to be impressive defensively. They were outstanding last night against Davidson, and that has carried over to game 2.
Quentin Adlash, the grad transfer from Columbia in the Ivy League, known as a sharpshooter, couldn't hit that one. Howard, definitely a sharpshooter. His third triple. And a timeout here in Orlando. Howard is feeling it here in the semifinals. Marcus Howard of Marquette is on a personal 11-0 run. And as a result, the Golden Eagles have a 16-11 lead. Wow, what a start.
He is a fun guy to watch, is he not? There's a lot of great guards in college basketball. I'm not sure there are many more explosive than this guy. He can rattle them off in a hurry. Vinnie Johnson microwave-like.
Okay. I like the reference. Open lane, but a denial. Ed Morrow the block on Matthews. Annam at the other end.
Annam has been a good Robin to Marcus Howard's Batman, has he not? They desperately needed that last night, and it's done wonders for his confidence. As you said, Ted, he is much more aggressive out of the gate in these semifinals.
13 in a row for Marquette. Rakocevic off the spin, the positioning.
You can't do that. Kane was a little bit outsized, and then he gambled. If you gamble in the block, guess what? You're going to give up an uncontested dunk. If you can't get the ball, you got to make him score through you.
Howard wants another. Give it to him. His fourth from beyond the arc.
Yeah, this guy's in quite a rhythm, is he not? Very difficult shot. He makes it look easy, but let me tell you something, America. That is a difficult shot.
Back tap off the Mobley miss. Adam attacking again.
Great decision.
Dropping it off to Greg Elliott.
Adam has been outstanding with his floor game. Got the ball to the middle of the floor and set up a layup. Marquette on a roll.
10-point lead for the Golden Eagles.
You got the matchup again. I'm shocked they did not go inside, and now they're calling an offensive foul.
Foul on USC and Nick Rakocevic. That is his second. Marquette scorching hot early here in the semifinals. Ten-point lead for Marquette over USC, the semifinals here at the Orlando Invitational. Certainly hope that you're enjoying your leftovers. Happy Thanksgiving weekend from here at the HP Fieldhouse. Glad you're along. Ted Emmerich along with Ole Miss's all-time wins leader, Andy Kennedy. Marcus Howard went for 40 last night for Marquette, and he's putting on another clinic already today.
You come to Orlando for what? Entertainment, correct?
Sure.
We are certainly getting that in the semifinals of the Orlando Invitational. Marcus Howard has been incredible, showing you the whole game. Bouncing into the mid-range, catch and shoot off baseline, screening action. Very little space, Ted. He does not need much room to work. He is in quite a rhythm.
Howard with 4 of 6 from three-point land. Already 16 points. 5 of 7 from the floor. A couple of free throws as well. He remembers how Marquette imploded late last year. He injured his wrist. He didn't shoot it that well the last 7 games. When Marquette went 1-6, bowed out in the first round of the NCAA tournament. He said it was unfinished business. That was the reason he returned after initially putting his name in the NBA draft.
Well, he is all about business since he has been in Florida, I'll tell you that. USC comes out of that timeout in a zone. It leads directly to a turnover.
Weaver had his shot rejected, but Mobley follows it.
I like the effort by Mobley. You cannot assume that's going to be an easy 2 points in transition. Chases it down. SC back into the zone. You can see being very aware of where Howard is.
Into the corner. Elliott, count it! With a foul!
That is exactly what you want to do versus a 2-3 zone. Get the ball to the high post and fan out. Ball enters high post, fan out to the corner, bang, and you have to allow the shooter to land. That's something that the officials have been very consistent with. Ran through his body, got a chance for 4 points.
Perfect at the line here on the young season. Elliott now 8 for 8. He finishes off the 4-point play for Steve Wojciechowski.
I'm going to tell you, Okongwu has been non-existent to this point in the game. If I'm SC, I want to get the young man involved. He has not touched the ball offensively. And as a result, again, has not put his imprint on this game. And he is such a valuable key, as is that guy. Wow, does he score it easy.
He drops in another, Andy. 18 points. This game is not even 10 minutes old.
I want to tell you this. If USC does not pick him up earlier, he's going to score 50 tonight.
Kane slams it. And another timeout for USC.
Great lead pass. Great catch by Kane. And boy, he showed us some bounce. Defensively swarm the ball. Everybody drops to ball level. Great pass up the floor and a tremendous finish. Everybody in white is fired up. Great contingency of fans. Marquette, what a job, what a support they have. They have come en masse to Orlando, and they have seen quite a show to this point.
You mentioned Kane with the hops. The junior from Pontiac, Michigan. Steve Wojciechowski says he might be the best athlete on the team. He gives us such energy. We saw that vertical right there.
Yeah, no question. I love the kid's versatility. He came in last night, made a huge pull-up for them as they were struggling offensively. The kid is a versatile performer who can help them in a number of ways.
Here's the touch for Okongwu that you called for. He flips it up and in, and one.
I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'll tell you this. I like my best players to have the ball. This kid is a tremendous offensive player, tremendous defensive player. He has to get involved. And when you're a big guy, you are dependent upon the rest of your teammates to get you involved. He needs the ball. He delivers big three-point play to stop the momentum just a bit.
Just the second field goal attempt of the game for Okongwu, who came in as the nation's 5th leading freshman scorer at 17.5 per game.
SC with an adjustment there. They kept 2 guys on Howard. You have to force him to give it up. You cannot allow him to make him bounce it and give it up.
Howard slicing down the lane. He's heading to the line again.
They pushed him into traffic, which is what you want to do defensively. But then at the end, to help defenses late, this guy knows how to draw fouls. Smart right here. A little slap down. He gets back to the free throw line.
Now, the way Greg Gard put it, Wisconsin's head coach, by the way, that's Marquette's only loss of the season, came 12 days ago. Gard said you have to limit the feel-good baskets for Howard. The easy stuff, right?
That's right. And you've got to do your best to limit his touches. Again, I'm not the brightest guy in the world, but I know you can't score if you don't have that ball. I would do my best, and SC has the athletes to do it, to limit his touches. They do. Wojo does a great job of the actions in order to get him the ball, but you cannot allow him to stay in rhythm. Right now, he is in complete control of the game.
That's about the only game that he was out of rhythm this season was against Wisconsin. He was 6 of 21 from the field, scored 18 points. He was 0 of 9 in the second half in that loss to the Badgers.
Not only have they done it offensively with the Marcus Howard show, I've been impressed defensively with Marquette as well. Last night as well as tonight. Gritty, digging up in you, making you play a little faster than possibly you would like.
Howard against the freshman Ethan Anderson. Step back. Not here.
Yeah, he deserves that. Well, the guy's made 1,000 in a row. You let him shoot one of those, but that was not a good shot. Travel right here by Doug Sermons, Hall of Fame, Final Four ref, a.k.a. Mr. Perfect, known by his colleagues.
Why is that? I have to ask the follow-up. Mr. Perfect?
I mean, look at that guy. I mean, that's perfection, is it not? All you have to do is ask him.
As in Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect? The perfect plex? Okay, not quite.
Anxious to see here. Howard's out of the game.
Yep.
His first rest. And guess who takes the drive?
Annam.
Robin. Robin got a little deep on that one, but man, he is really. We had talked about who's going to help Marcus Howard throughout the course of this long season. I think they have found their answer in Orlando, Florida.
Meanwhile, it's an opportunity for USC for however long Steve Wojciechowski keeps Howard on the bench for this breather. Probably won't be too long.
Probably through the 8 media. That way you can get about 3 or 4 minutes real time. I would assume he would get him through the 8-minute. Allow him to exhale. You don't want to sit over there long, though. That right hand, if you're the young man sitting to his right with the shooting shirt on, you better watch out. That's probably made out of polyester, as hot as his right hand is. We may have some issues.
Don't want anything highly flammable, do you?
No, not yet. That's for later.
Annam is at the line. Well, coming up next week, the Big Ten ACC Challenge. How about this doubleheader? First at 7:30 Eastern, Michigan and number 2 Louisville, probably soon to be number 1 Louisville. Then Duke and Michigan State in East Lansing, a Sonic blockbuster. It's all on ESPN and the ESPN app. And how about Michigan, Andy, winning the battle for Atlantis? Has any team had a better week?
For National Coach of the Year, does he not? Incredible performance that they put on in Atlantis.
Just blowing out Gonzaga earlier today in the championship.
Marquette extended the pressure off that made free throw. I think it's a good idea. SC is longer, more athletic. Play under them, make them play fast. You can see there, they were trying to get it inside to Okongwu. Gave up on it a little quick. Now they're late in the clock. He's going to have to take that one.
Okongwu, he has that kind of range. A good free throw shooter and really good touch, like you said.
Great touch, good hands. That kid really has the whole package. He's going to be tremendous. What a timing situation. Joe DeRosa, another outstanding official. Been doing this for a long time, probably about as long as you've been alive, Ted.
Thanks for that.
Still one of the best in the business.
Bailey down the baseline.
Son of Thurl Bailey. We said that last night. It's worth repeating. Got a lot of similarities to the old man in his game.
McEwen trying to contort his body. Lost it out of bounds and will step aside. Marquette, a big surge in this first half. They're up 14 here at Walt Disney World.
We're destined for greatness.
Cole Anthony can take over a game.
A Sonic
Blockbuster season continues with the Big Ten ACC Challenge, Wednesday on ESPN.
Cole Anthony, always a main event attraction. We have one of our own here in Orlando. Marquette's Marcus Howard with 20 points in about the first 10 minutes. He's been on the bench the last two. He's got to rest sometime, and his team is up 14, Andy.
Well, it's easy for us on the other side of the court to judge, but, boy, I'd like to see him back in the game. You?
I would like to see him on the court for all 40 minutes, but it's not up to me. I'm not Wojo.
Plus 14, you have the ball. Again, trying to give him a little bit of rest. He's a high-energy guy. Last night, you got to remember the effort that he put into last night's victory. Buy him some time when you can.
And Marquette throws it away. The out-of-bounds play out of the timeout. McEwen finding Weaver instead of one of his teammates. John with the block shot.
We talked about Weaver staying aggressive. That may be a bit much. It's hard to attack a set defense. Hard to attack when the defense is set. You see nothing but white jerseys there. Nowhere to go. Run good offense. Plenty of game left. Play through that guy. Couldn't quite get turned on the pivot. Comes up a little short. But he's a guy that needs to touch the ball on most possessions.
Nice ball movement to the corner. McEwen off the mark.
Continues to struggle. Looking for his first field goal made in the tournament.
It's 0 for 8 yesterday.
And came in on a tear. Averaging around 16 points per game, shooting over 60% from three. That guy's taking up the slack, though. Wow, what a contribution off the bench.
Greg Elliott with 8 in this first half. Guy, your average is 5 points a game. Okongwu went right through his hands.
Pass was a little behind him. Doesn't concentrate it in. And can we go for 11?
Oh! Splashdown for Greg Elliott. He's in double figures.
Boy, I like his game, too. Very efficient. He's like Klay Thompson. He has 11 points on 0 dribbles. He just gets the ball and puts it in the basket. That's efficiency.
Largest lead for Marquette. Okongwu can't finish.
Marquette in complete control of the game, dictating tempo on both ends.
Oh, there it is for McEwen. His first made basket here in Orlando. And Andy Enfield calls another timeout.
And that is a tough shot to get your first field goal made in 48 hours. Again, as we talked about, we're shooting 60% from three coming in to this tournament. And now we see why. Good clean stroke. Marquette, wow, out of the gate. McEwen here to this guy, wow. 11 points off the bench, and then McEwen says, hey, it's my turn. Look at the exhale.
Finally.
Finally. It's like me at the end of a telecast. I survived another.
Hey now, this is the first of 2.
Oh, we have another one?
Yeah, believe it or not, later, the consolation round. But
I'm not sure it'll hold up to this billing. Wow. Marcus Howard and Marquette are making a significant noise across the country.
Wojo loves it, and he sends Howard back in now with his 20 points. But the supporting cast has shown up so far in this semifinal. Mobley against Morrow, he scores it.
We saw him yesterday. That kid has all the tools to be a really, really good player. I'll get some experience, get a little stronger, but boy, is he skilled. 2 in a row for McEwen. Adam! McEwen with the pass to Adam. I didn't mean to miss on Batman. He has been tremendous in this tournament.
Marquette is 8 of 12 from downtown. Now foul on the perimeter.
Offensively, you can't do it much better than this. McEwen off penetration to his partner, Adam, who continues to be another second, third threat. Let me tell you something. In order to be an NCAA tournament team, you have to have a legitimate third scorer. We all know who 1A and B are for the Marquette Golden Eagles. McEwen has been good, struggled in this tournament, but he's been good prior. And Adams stepping up in the last 2 days in Orlando is a great sign for Steve Wojciechowski and his staff.
And Marquette's got to find new complementary scorers next to Marcus Howard after Sam and Joey Hauser transferred. Sam heading to Virginia. He was the second leading scorer a year ago, averaging 15 a game. Joey, of course, going to Michigan State, had his waiver denied by the NCAA. He's trying to play this season.
Yeah, the team is built differently, even though they've got some key pieces returning, certainly differently with the loss of those two guys. So some guys are going to have to fill these roles and fill them quickly.
Oh, this is from deep. Oh, Marcus Howard! It's target practice.
That is the risk of pressing Marquette. If you throw over the top, you've got an open floor situation for the most explosive score in college basketball. When you press, you now cannot be as conscientious of where he is. Look how open he is. It's the most open he has been the entire game. He just dribbles into a rhythm shot, clean look, continues to be incredible with his ability as it relates to efficiency and volume out of the gate.
23 points for Howard. The offensive foul was called on Ed Morrow. Marquette has made 5 consecutive shots, 4 of them from long range. Sturdivant rejected by Morrow.
Morrow's been really good defensively.
And McEwen flips it in.
Strong finish. Wow, as Marquette come out of the gate. Complete domination from tip.
And now a steal. McEwen takes it.
Too much space.
Howard catch and shoot. Yes, sir. 6 threes.
26 points. He shoots it deep. He shoots it quick. He moves without the ball. He can get his own. This kid is the most explosive scorer in college basketball.
It's a 30-point advantage. Sturdivant cuts into it.
And that was not an easy shot. Marquette has not only been dominant offensively, defensively just as impressive.
McEwen out to Bailey, setting his feet. This is a long 2.
Marcus Howard was open. Bailey's a youngster, didn't see him, could have made the extra pass. We probably all know what the outcome of that would have been.
Mobley off the window for USC. He's got all the tools as a freshman.
He really does, and especially if he gets that low of a touch, because his size and his length are going to allow him to play right over the top.
McEwen, foot on the line.
A couple of questionable shots. I don't know about you, but I'd let number 0 touch it. 26 points. Been incredible. Hadn't touched it the last couple of trips down.
Now Mobley puts it in, plus the foul. He's fired up as USC tries to initiate some kind of rally. Got a timeout. Semifinals of the Orlando Invitational. Marquette the commanding lead. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Hurry in for Black Friday deals. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
I want to tell you this, Seth. It'd take a better coach than you to get me open at this stage. But if I did get open, game of horse, Marcus Howard's range may now get me. But back in the day, it would have been quite a shootout.
I would love to see that. I'd love to see that while we're here in Orlando. Off day tomorrow. Can we arrange that?
Can you imagine Marcus Howard as a point guard, the old Ole Miss Rebels? He would have had to ice his arm at halftime. I would have let that guy shoot 72 balls a game.
Well, he did that with Marshall Henderson.
He's still the NCAA record holder for most three-pointers attempted in a season. He shot more than 8 teams, and that group won 27 games.
They're different players, but how do you compare?
Well, this guy's game is completely different because of his ability to bounce it into shots, but he certainly, and Wojo does a great job of sometimes moving him off that baseline screening, a little like Marshall Henderson in his ability to catch, fade, and score. But he is so dynamic off the bounce, plays so low to the ground.
Foul underneath against USC.
You know, a lot of the things, Ted, are getting lost in this game because he has been so spectacular. But I think Marquette has done a tremendous job defensively. They're doing a great job on the glass. You got to remember, SC comes in this game +7 on the glass, and yet they're down 10 to a much smaller Marquette team.
Yeah, Marquette was out-rebounded by Davidson last night by 2. And with the length that USC presents, Marquette has been owning the glass here today. Johnson is at the line.
And Theo John still not playing very much.
Saturday, 7 Eastern, 6 Central on ESPN and the ESPN app. Check out Joe Burrow and number 2 LSU matching up with Texas A&M in Death Valley. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Hampton by Hilton. LSU trying to stay perfect and gain a little revenge after that 7 overtime loss a year ago in Aggieland. Tommy fouled.
Good cut, good offensive set. You can tell Marquette is really digging into the USC guards. And as a result, looks like it's thrown them off their rhythm a little bit. And the infield's gone with a much smaller backcourt now, maybe to combat some of that. But they have to play inside out. There's still a lot of game left. Number one, you better find the guy in the pink shoes. I don't know how you could miss him.
Yeah.
You better find the guy in the pink shoes. And number two, you've got to grind out some offense, and it happens by going inside out if you're USC.
Tommy. There's the shoes. Marcus Howard. Oh, fluorescent look.
When you drop 40,
Orlando, you can wear whatever you want.
You can come
right?
out here in sandals. Makes no difference.
Sandals and socks.
That's right.
Terrible look. Doesn't matter. You tell me from Houston, grad transfer from Akron. Splits the pair.
Sure, there's a few sandals and socks combos going on.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've seen a few at the
park across the street.
I've seen a few at the hotel as well.
I think you could probably get 40 in sandals. Too much space, man. See how comfortable he is? You got to make him uncomfortable.
Rejected by Okongwu.
He did try to dribble into a great shot blocker. Okongwu showing his presence now. I would throw him the ball.
He wanted it there. They didn't find him. It's Mobley. Foul before the shot.
This guy's really been an offensive spark for a group that desperately needed it. Last night, Weaver and Matthews were terrific. Tonight, 1 for 10 combined. Defensively, they're getting lit up. Offensively, they just have not had an impact in this game. Luckily for Andy Enfield, Mobley's been able to come in and give him some real offense.
10 points. Isaiah Mobley, son of USC assistant Eric Mobley, in his second year on Andy Enfield's staff. Talk about Mobley's skill level. Eric was a point guard at Portland. He says, growing up, I trained Isaiah as a point guard. Of course, he sprouted to 6'10".
He's got a lot of ability, plays the game, makes it look easy. Back to the 2-3 zone. Marquette got it right where you want it. I'm not sure about that shot, but you want to attack it from that high post.
Anderson lost the dribble. It's stripped by McEwen.
That was a tip. Good call by Mr. Perfect, Doug Sermons.
It's going to stick, isn't it?
I think it is. I'm going to make an attempt to make sure that's the case.
Pass that along to our colleagues.
One of the best in the business, Doug Sermons. One thing that USC cannot do, they cannot have empty possessions with turnovers. when you're trying to battle back down from 23.
Howard launches again, short.
Try to get this thing, if you're coaching Phil, you want to get this thing under 20 going into the locker room. I know that sounds like, well, is the game over? The game's not over. I watched in Atlantis earlier. It's a block on the floor. I watched in Atlantis earlier an Oregon team against Seton Hall down 19 in the second half, battle all the way back to get the dub. It happens in college basketball when you're dealing with young kids. They're just trying to chip away, get this thing under 20 at the half.
Second personal on Theo John. Kongwu at the line, 79% early in the season. There is Eric Mobley next to Andy Enfield. Isaiah's younger brother, Evan, is on his way to USC as well. The #1 player, according to ESPN, in the class of 2020. He signed earlier this month.
Back in that zone. Marquette's done a good job of hitting that high post. Looks like they're going to try to screen it now. Get Howard an angle. Can't relax. Good job by Kongwu of not relaxing, making him give that ball up. Another big stop. Now you got to try to string together a 2-for-1 if you're USC.
See if they try to go. Kongwu facing up, couldn't hit.
They were thinking 2-for-1. Now Marquette could go 2-for-1. We'll see. Up 21. I'm not sure that would be the most strategic of moves.
McEwen wants a screen. Bailey finally gives it to him. Morrow going reverse side.
Great action. Ball screen. Get McEwen to the middle of the floor. Draw the middle of the zone up. Great pocket pass. I love the fact that McEwen is starting to play with more confidence. Ed Morrow has been a real difference maker. First basket, but been tremendous defensively.
Anderson the scoop for USC here in the final seconds.
Marquette gets the last shot. If I am Marcus Howard, I do not give it up. Obviously, I'm not Marcus Howard.
Bailey down low. Morrow again. Blocked by Mobley. It's a tie-up, but it'll stay with Marquette thanks to the arrow. 1.6 remaining.
These are situations that coaches work on. They have an out-of-bounds situation that they have the use it or lose it timeout, so they'll use it, and Wojo will draw up exactly what he wants.
Oh, with 1.6, what would you draw up?
Well, obviously, you want to be able to get a shot off the catch. You can bounce it maybe once, twice. I wouldn't pass it more than one time. So whatever you have in your package, you want to catch and shoot off the initial. I'm going to the man in the pink shoes, personally, but I guarantee you USC is anticipating that as well.
Sure.
So there may be a counter. They may use him as some sort of decoy, slip somebody to the basket. They've got a lot of different options, and those options have played really well with 57 first-half points for Marquette.
Marquette 10 of 15 from three-point land. They're shooting 55% overall. And Marcus Howard with 26 of his team's 57. He is 6 of 10 from beyond the arc.
Looks man-to-man for USC. Little action. Yeah, they were definitely using. Boy, yeah, that's good. That actually is a break. I know Wojo would not have want to burn a timeout right there. So that is actually a break, believe it or not.
Yeah, McEwen motioned for it, but the 5 seconds ran out. Now Adlesh beyond midcourt, not even close. And we have reached halftime. A blazing first half from Marcus Howard. 26 points beyond his season average already, following his 40-point performance last night in the quarterfinals. 57-36 Marquette. Now to the studio. Kevin Connors, Sean Farnham, and Seth Greenberg. You're watching the 2019 Orlando Invitational as part of ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Here at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex, the semifinal round of the Orlando Invitational, and an impressive first half from Marquette. They lead USC, and they hope to join number 5 Maryland in the championship game on Sunday. So glad you're with us on this Thanksgiving weekend. Happy holidays to you and yours, Ted Emmerich, along with the all-time wins leader at Ole Miss, Andy Kennedy. We know we're here at Disney World. Marcus Howard has turned this place into his own theme park.
Well, no question. He's the most exciting ride in Orlando, I promise you that. Incredible performance last night. Tournament record 40. Tonight, on pace to shatter that with 26, and he's doing it in every way possible. Catch and shoot, off the bounce, penetration. Marcus Howard, 8 for 13, 6 for 10 from 3. But he's not the only story. He's had guys that have stepped up, starting with this guy, Greg Elliott, 11 points in 13 minutes after going scoreless last night. Kobe McEwen, a guy who had not made a field goal in the state of Florida, comes out, as does Batman and Robin, our guy, Sakar Annam. Those guys combined for 23 points on 8 for 12 shooting, including 4 for 5 from 3.
And Howard had that brief rest in the middle of the first half. 26 points. Of course, it bears mentioning the career high 53, also a school record, a Big East record. Can USC make this game competitive enough in the second half for Wojo to leave Howard in the game?
We're going to find out about in the first 5 minutes. First 5 minutes are very, very important for USC. This is a super talented team. Took their first loss of the season against Temple prior to coming here. Were not great in their opener against Fairfield. And today they have run into a buzzsaw. They need to respond.
Matthews needed that 3. His first points, he was 0 of 4 from the field in the first half.
I like the action right in front of Andy Enfield and his bench. That was a set play call, trying to get Matthews going. Maybe it will. Matthews and Weaver were outstanding against Fairfield. They have been non-existent to this point.
McEwen short on the 3. Okongwu hit the deck. Fouls against Theo John of Marquette.
Theo John just picks up his 3rd. He played 8 minutes, which he only played 11 the entire first game. But I want to tell you, one of the guys that did not make the highlights, who is about to check in, Ed Morrow Jr., was outstanding in lieu of Theo's absence due to foul trouble in the first half.
Yeah, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks for Morrow in 9 minutes. Okongwu fouled.
What happens is, off the initial drive, Theo John comes and gets the block, but now he is taken out of position to defensive rebound it. What does Okongwu do? He does what he does. He gets to the offensive glass. You can see there, good drive, draws the help. Theo John with the block. Okongwu, right place, right time, always pursuing the ball, gets back to the free throw line.
Here comes Morrow, just as you said. John exits with the 3 personals for Marquette. For Okongwu, Andy Enfield said that he and his staff fell in love with him in the 9th grade. At first, he was a tip-ins, dunks kind of guy, and just added to his skill set year after year. And a misfires from the corner. Morrow trying to save it. It's USC ball.
Well, there's nothing not to like about Okongwu. Terrific demeanor. Plays much more mature than his actual age. He's long, he's strong, he's athletic, and I love his timing and his hands. Great hands. Bigs have to have good hands in order to be successful. He's got great hands.
Number 20 player in the senior class in the ESPN 100 here in 2019. Who touched it last?
Paul will stay here. Bart Lennox with the call. Another one of the outstanding officials. Runs like a young Jake Bell. Didn't have to run far there to get that call right. Ball will stay in USC's possession.
You have a note on every official.
Hey, listen, I was coaching for 23 years.
They never thought
I'd get a mic.
You have the book on all of them.
SC 4 straight points, and they've got a good inside possession. I would have loved to have seen him go score that ball.
Anderson off the window, friendly bounce.
Well, the game really changed. Anderson was outstanding for USC early, and he picks up his 2nd foul at the beginning of the game, and I think the whole game changed. He's their best team defender. He's a strong driver right there, also their best passer. 6-0 start for SC. This is exactly what you draw up if you're Andy Enfield. Get you back in the game. It's only a 15-point game with an eternity left. SC settling back to this 2-3 zone.
They called a technical foul there, a double technical, actually. Beg your pardon. Rakocevic was involved in that play. But away we go. Howard. Kick it out to Bailey. Long two, a swish.
That's all Marcus Howard. Penetration against the zone from the wing. I love the fact that he plays on 2 feet. Good jump stop, great pass. Bailey cashes in.
Offensive foul, and Andy Enfield is hot. Calls against Ethan Anderson. His third. Enfield's team had outscored Marquette 19-4 before that jumper by Bailey. They were down by as many as 30 with 4 minutes to go in the first half.
If SEC, is it? I've had a hard time saying USC, have I not? If
I heard you say SEC, I forgive you for that. That makes sense.
Creature of habit.
That's all right.
If SC's going to get back in this game and they want to do it via the zone, they've got to keep the ball out of the middle of the floor, either off the pass or off the dribble. Middle of the zone is where you want to attack it, and Marquette's done a terrific job in getting it just there.
That went off the hand of Brendan Bailey. Marquette turns it over. Their 8th of the game.
To see SC go through a Kongwu or Rakocevic.
You got it.
I'm not sure they're going to allow me to say it in 2-second increments, but he's had a great game. Inside out, good pass.
And that's why Daniel Utomi is now a member of the USC Trojans. Nice find by Rakocevic.
And that's what Rakocevic is really good at. That's why if he will play with pace, he is an excellent passer. That was all created by the inside touch. Rakocevic with great court vision.
Howard got Rakocevic off his feet. And he bangs in the three.
There's no need for Rakocevic to fly by. He's a foot taller than Marcus Howard. Stay on your feet. Him leaping in the air created an angle. And Marcus Howard has proven he is going to take advantage of every angle.
7 of 11 from downtown. Now foul on Bailey against Rakocevic.
Right here, simple ball fake. Takes himself completely out of the play. That's an easy shot for a great shot maker. Rakocevic needs to stay on the ground, make him score over his size.
I love Jamal Cain strumming the guitar there. Matthews trying to step back over Howard. Okongwu offensive rebound. Rakocevic trying to tip it, and we're heading the other way.
Looks like we've got an over the back. Doug Sermons with the call. Rakocevic does not agree.
That's his 4th.
But Doug Sermons, one of the best in the business. I'm counting that right. I think he was. I think Marquette had inside position. Tough initial shot. SC in much better rhythm offensively. But you need to carve into this lead quickly. Sitting on 17, and Marcus Howard has seen it go in once already in the second half.
Trying to find Howard in the corner. Now on the wing.
Mobley with a much better challenge. He was the second to leave the floor defensively versus a jump shooter. You want to be the second guy to jump. Rakocevic made the mistake the first time. Howard made him pay. That time the freshman Mobley did it just as Andy Enfield teaches. Big stop there for USC.
And the 3rd personal foul on Ed Morrow, so he heads out, and Jace Johnson, the grad transfer from Utah, comes in.
Trying to front. Kongwu inside. Good job by the post grad Jace Johnson, denying him that initial touch. But there's that guy.
The stick back for Isaiah Mobley, and he has a chance at a 3-point play.
13 on the night, been their best offensive producer. Got an opportunity here. Spin, nothing there. Good initial D, but now USC is doing a good job of eating off the offensive glass. Isaiah Mobley, and 1.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Lowe's. Hurry in for Black Friday deals. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. USC trailed by 30 in the first half here at Walt Disney World. They have cut that deficit in half. 62-47 Marquette, early second half. Howard with 29. He is connected on 7 threes. Yeah, 29 of the 62 points. But Isaiah Mobley is at the line out of the timeout trying to complete a three-point play.
That kid has been really impressive. He was good yesterday, much better today. 14 points and 5 rebounds. Has been a huge spark off Andy Enfield's bench to cut this thing to 14. A lot of time left. SC has come out in this second half with a much better focus.
Howard defended by USC's best perimeter defender, Jonah Matthews. It doesn't matter. Howard now with 31.
He bounced it into the middle of the zone. You got to keep the ball out of the middle. Then hits a floater over maybe the best shot blocker in the tournament, Okongwu. The guy's got the whole package offensively.
Oh, you told me all crossed up against Annam. Now foul will go against Annam.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold on the cutter right here. Whether it's off the pass or off the bounce, Marquette doing exactly what you need to do against a 2-3 zone. Get it to the middle. Then it helps when you've got the best scorer in college basketball to jump up and shoot it over one of the best shot blockers in college basketball. 31 for Marcus Howard.
And as efficient as can be, Andy, 31 points on 16 shots.
He's a volume guy, and sometimes last night, for instance, he ended up shooting the ball 41 total times, 26 field goals, 15 free throws to get 40 points. Volume there, incredible efficiency here. Comes into this game shooting just under 48% from 3, and he's a 90% career free throw shooter.
I referenced Marshall Henderson in the first half, who you coached, of course, a singular scoring talent, different player than Howard, but how do you balance making sure that a guy like that gets his looks while also ensuring the rest of the team stays engaged?
Well, everybody understands his value because he creates opportunities not only for himself but for the entire team because of the attention that he draws. Great penetration there by Kobe McEwen again.
Oh, Okongwu, a couple of blocks, then the whistle blows.
But to finish the point, we've got a technical foul, it looks like, on the USC bench, not on Andy Enfield. I believe he's going further down the bench.
Enfield has a quizzical look on his face, and Doug Sermons just pointed to, like you said, Andy, the end of the Trojan bench.
Yeah, it was not Andy Enfield who he teed up. The rule states, and sometimes the officials will be a little more lax with other guys on the bench standing, but that guy, I'm not even sure was an assistant coach, was demonstrative. This crew is not going to put up with that.
They called it on Rakocevic. Because Rakocevic came onto the floor protesting the call. Howard is at the line.
We'll get the explanation right here.
Yeah, Doug Sermons will come over. Meanwhile, Howard always money at the stripe. And for Rakocevic, that's his second technical. He's got to go. Ejected with his second technical foul.
Class A technical, second of the game, results in an ejection.
He's done.
Wow. We had talked about it, and the kid had played much better in this game. Emotional yesterday. Something is definitely awry with him. And that's a huge momentum killer.
Well, you noted the body language yesterday, and we saw him earlier on the bench after a foul went against him. You could read his lips.
Yeah.
How frustrated he was today.
When SC has battled back in this game, still down only 15 after being down 30 at one point in the first half. A lot of basketball, yet you don't want to hurt your team, and Rakocevic certainly just did that.
Now you'll see a lot more of Mobley and Okongwu together down low. Summer teammates with premier grassroots program Compton Magic during their high school days. Foul is called here. And it'll be free throws.
That was on Jace Johnson, and now we've got an issue as it relates to the front court of Marquette. Brendan Bailey with 3, Theo John with 3, Ed Morrow with 3, and now Jace Johnson with 3. So Wojo will have to do a good job of managing the minutes of his front court because he has foul trouble everywhere.
Weaver at the line. Just a 46% foul shooter, but he hits the front end of the 1-and-1.
That looks odd, doesn't it? That looks odd. He's got a great stroke. Why would you be shooting 46%?
And again, small sample size. He was 6 of 13 coming into the game.
Correct. Free throws are more mental than anything else. It's the one time in the game where everything stops, all eyes on you. Meek Mill may like all eyes on me, but I'm not sure he does.
So down to a 13-point lead. Marquette led by as many as 30 in the first half. There's Johnson to the cup.
And that was all set up by a guy who had a terrific first half. Greg Elliott with baseline penetration. Great dump off. Big basket there for Marquette to try to stop down some of this USC momentum.
Okongwu misses from close range. Mobley the offensive rebound. Utomi couldn't hit.
SC much more active on the glass, as I said earlier. +7 on the year. At one time in this game, they were doubled up on the glass. Much more competitive now with a sense of urgency.
McEwen off balance. The floater drops in.
That is very difficult, going away from your shooting hand, driving hard left to a fade over a terrific shot blocker. Impressive move by Kobe McEwen.
Weaver off the window, plus the foul.
And one got to his strong hand, bounced it into his spot, took it through his shoulder there. Good concentration to finish with the opportunity to get this back under 15 for the first time in quite some while.
Fouls on Jamal Cain, his 4th personal. So yes, like you said, the fouls are piling up for the Golden Eagles.
They're going to be in the double bonus from here on out. That's something that you need to watch. Again, it's only 14. I think the zone has been somewhat effective for SC. Marcus Howard with 2 field goal attempts in the second half. Let's please find him. Good pass to the low man. Good catch by Johnson. Let's see if he can finish over the shot blocker.
Against Okongwu, he could not. Matthews put on the line. Bailey rips it down for Marquette.
You've got numbers break right there. They mishandled it a little bit and ended up taking a tough shot with an opportunity to get this thing down to 12, and now guess who's got it? He's going to make that.
Oh, easy. And Howard, you see what his hands are doing? He's motioning, all right, let's settle down now.
Yeah, it's incredible. He plays so low off the initial explosive move. He gets to his spot at ease. And I love the fact, I'm going to continue to say it because anybody that plays ball needs to get it in their game. Play off 2 feet. When you play off 2 feet, it gives you so many other options. 2 feet, under control, let the defense fly by. Makes it look so easy from 12 feet.
Howard just collected his 2nd personal. And again, double bonus in effect. Jonah Matthews will shoot 2.
Marquette's been really aggressive and effective in their half-court D. Now you got to be smart. You know, you're talking about an SC team that has not shot it extremely well from behind the arc in this tournament. You don't want to give them free opportunities with the clock stopped from the free throw line and your double bonus from here on in.
I mentioned the mid-range game for Marcus Howard, and we always hear about it being a lost art over the last few years. A guy his size at 5'11", and you hear that cliche, scoring at all 3 levels. You have to develop that floater that from 15 feet in
Well, when the guy's
to be able to be a scorer like he is.
Well, when the guy's got in the gym range, he's going to be pressured, so you have to have the ability to take what the defense gives you, and that's what he's doing. If you give him space, he's going to shoot it in. If you press him, he has the ability to go by you, on cue.
Over Okongwu. This time it doesn't drop.
That time, see the difference? Didn't play off 2 feet. Had a little runner, a left foot runner going across his body, trying to get it over Okongwu. Very, very high degree of difficulty shot.
Harder off the 1 foot than both feet.
No question, just from a balance standpoint. That'd be like a triple axle. If he would have landed that, The scoring in the studio in Bristol would have been off the chart.
What would Seth give him? Oh, give him 3 here. Now they will take a look at it at our next timeout.
I couldn't see his feet, but I saw his footwork. Man, great initial thrust to a step back, difficult shot. Pretty good defense on that shot, but when a guy's in a rhythm like this young man has been in 2 days, you can forget about it.
A tie up here. And Marquette ball with the arrow. As this stands, it's his 8th 3.
Look at that. Great footwork, great strength, strong wrist. Marcus Howard. Bang.
Marquette trying to take it home against USC here in the semifinals at the Orlando Invitational. The winner will take on number 5 Maryland in the championship on Sunday. And speaking of the Terps, they're part of the Big Ten ACC Challenge Wednesday at home against Notre Dame at 7:30 Eastern. Then it's Ohio State and North Carolina top 10 battle at 9:30 in Chapel Hill. A sonic blockbuster. Overall, 2 outstanding matchups on ESPN and the ESPN app. Marcus Howard, 37 points. The officials did take a look at his recent perimeter shot. That was a 3, they ruled, so 8 of 13 from downtown. He had a tournament record, 40 points last night in the quarterfinals, 37 already today.
What's the 3-point record in the tournament? Do we know? Got to be close to that, right? Not many guys have made more than 8.
He's got 8 today, 13 in 2 games.
Yep. I was just thinking for the game. I don't know. I should know my Orlando Invitational history a little better. Put together, an event put together by ESPN's own Pete Durzis. Known Pete a long time. Outstanding tournament. Outstanding field.
Matthews on Howard. This is a 3. No, he was looking for his 2nd straight 40-point game. He should have it with just over 11 minutes to go.
17-point game. Still not out of question that SC could come back. They're going to go to the free throw line here. That's one thing that Marquette cannot do. If SC's going to get back in this, Marquette cannot foul them, allowing them 2 free throws with no time running off.
Weaver fell down, but he will have free throws. Well, here is one record that Marcus Howard has secured in addition to the single game scoring record. This is the 2nd game out of 3 in the tournament, and he has already broken the single tournament scoring record here at the Orlando Invitational. In 2007, Michael Beasley, remember him at Kansas State?
I do remember him.
Had 73 points in 3 games. Howard has 77 here in a game plus.
Wow. I think he's going to shatter that record and put it on a level that it may be his for quite some time. Weaver showed you that shaky free throw shooting there. Opportunity lost.
Howard being chased by Weaver.
He just got you on skates.
Turn the corner, missed the layup,
Got to
but
get
the
to
whistle
the free throw
blows.
line. Yeah, he's just got you on skates with the ball. He's weaving in and out. Plays so low and so powerful to the ground. And those pink shoes look kind of like skates, do they not?
Put some wheels on him.
Real men wear pink. He pulls it off well.
He can wear whatever he wants.
He can wear whatever he wants.
Well, Marcus Howard has 5 career 40-point games. 4 last year and 1 last night on Thanksgiving. 40 exactly against Davidson. The 53 against Creighton, a school record and a Big East record last season.
If you're Marquette, don't foul. Force them into tough twos.
Or
turn them over.
Here.
You got a 4-on-2.
Oh, great
Howard
run.
leaves
it for John, who missed the chippy.
That is incredible. You had a 4-on-2. Marcus Howard had the court sense to knew he had a trailer running, trying to help his big guy who didn't want to help himself.
Quentin Adlesh way off. 3-point specialist, grad transfer from Columbia.
A little different pace here than Columbia, no disrespect.
To the Ivy League. Harvard has looked awfully good here this week. Howard bumped by Isaiah Mobley.
That's going to be a technical.
Oh, and now a technical foul as Mobley was swiping at Howard.
Frustration has set in for the Trojans. Marcus Howard with an incredible ability to draw fouls. When you pressure him, because he's such a good shooter, he just drives it into your body. Right call. Mobley, who's been terrific throughout the course of this tournament, most especially today. So now you've got technical free throws followed up with the double bonus. I'm saying 4 for 4. What you got, Ted?
I wouldn't bet against Marcus Howard.
He is going to, if he can knock these next 3 down, he's going to top last night's performance with just under 10 to play.
There's 40. Now the 1-and-1 for Marcus Howard. So the 2 technicals on Nick Rakocevic for USC. He was ejected earlier this half, and now a technical for Isaiah Mobley, the star freshman. 41. Season high for Howard. And now Howard has broken his own tournament record.
It didn't last long, did it?
No, it didn't. Not even 24 hours after 40 last night against Davidson. Make it 42.
And all of the momentum that USC had worked so hard to get has now gone up in flames.
19-point edge.
If you're Marquette, keep them in front of you. If you're SC, just run good offense. Don't play the score, play the game. Take the best available shot. Good skip, play through Mobley inside. Good spin move, and he traveled. Whether you're a perimeter player or a post player, again, it's very important to play on 2 feet. Have I said that already, Ted?
Yes.
Right there. Mobley trying to spin, didn't play off 2 feet. Landed right, left, turnover.
12th turnover for the Trojans. John posting up against Okongwu. Trying to muscle through. Foul called.
He'll go to the free throw line now. I bet he's got a lot of energy. He hasn't played a lot of minutes since he's been to Florida. Foul trouble. Terrific, terrific rim protector. Very valuable piece to Marquette with his ability to defend at the rim and also finish plays around the basket. Hadn't had an opportunity to garner much rhythm due to all of the fouls that he's committed.
That's the front end. He was 10 of 15 at the line coming into the game.
So this is an important last 9 minutes for him, honestly. He needs to get a little bit of rhythm. You hope that if you're a Marquette fan that they can hold on, and you're going to need him if you expect to walk out of here with the ship.
Wojciechowski said about John as he goes 0 for 2 at the line. We know he's an elite rim protector. We need him to become an elite finisher and rebounder now here in his junior season.
Travel.
Oh, another giveaway by USC, number 13. Well, Marcus Howard becomes the first player in Big East history with back-to-back 40-point games. Think about that with the history of the league.
That will resonate in due time. Marcus Howard nor most anyone will understand the significance of that statistic, but wow, there have been some incredible players come through that league over the course of time. No one has done what we have had the opportunity to witness the last 2 days.
Howard's not done. He draws the foul.
You know, you said it, Ted, it's cliche-ish, and for the viewer, they say he can score on all three levels. What does that mean? Well, he's got incredible range, out of the gym range. He can get to his pull-up like we just saw, and he's got the ability to finish inside. That's all three levels, and he makes it look so easy at 5'11". Difficult to do, difficult to contain, and when he has teammates step up like they have today, it makes helping off to support on him much more difficult to do.
He now has scored 12 straight points for Marquette. Okongwu flips it in, plus the foul.
It's a guy that's done a good job in the second half. He presents well in front of the rim. They give it to him. One power dribble, impressive with his left hand. Now has an opportunity to earn 3 at the free throw line.
Theo John's fourth personal, so he sits down. Yeah, okay, for Marcus Howard, Marquette, you have to be pleased with the overall development over his 4 years. Part of the class of 2016. He was a top 100 kid, according to ESPN. He's in the same class as the likes of Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, who, of course, in the NBA. But Howard has worked steadily, improved year after year, and, of course, exploded as a junior and returned as a senior to lead Marquette to bigger and better things.
Let's keep it real here, Ted. If he was 6'3", we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Sure.
He would be playing across the street, possibly for the Orlando Magic already. But at under 6 feet, you can name on one hand all of the guys under 6 feet that have had long careers in the NBA. And it has nothing to do with his offense. He can score at the NBA level. It comes down to defense. Who is he going to defend? I've been impressed with his defense here. I've been impressed with the fact that when you're that small, you have to be disruptive on the ball, and you have to be very savvy off the ball. I think he's both of those things. I think he's going to have a long, fruitful career. It's just taken him a little longer on that path, and that is due strictly to one thing and one thing only: height or lack thereof.
So you think he can carve out a role?
I don't think there's any question.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any question because of his ability to score and to make plays consistently.
Lead is ballooned back to 22. Anderson missed the layup. Oh, Mobley, look what I found. And a foul.
Cardinal rule you learn in elementary school: never save the ball under your opposing basket. Kane, with effort, just kind of flipped it back. Unfortunately, he flipped it right to Isaiah Mobley.
Sports Center tonight after South Florida and UCF. Bucci and Michael Eaves. Giannis and the Bucks looking for their 10th straight win, but their longest winning streak in nearly 33 years. The Lakers going for 10 in a row as well. They face the Wizards. Also sitting down with Ohio State defensive end Chase Young, star pass rusher. It's a film session with Young. SportsCenter after college football on ESPN and the ESPN app.
You think Chase Young could guard Marcus Howard off the bounce?
Again, something that I would love to see on our off day tomorrow. Now, I want to see you and Howard play horse, right? Matchup of horse. It's not going to happen? You sure?
Probably won't happen.
Okay. I would love to see Chase Young
try to guard him.
try to guard.
That's probably not going to happen either.
Stay in front of Marcus
Howard.
So
you're 0 for 2, Ted. What's your third wish?
Oh, that's my third wish.
You got
another 3 from Howard, his 9th of the game.
1 for 3, about your batting average. Pretty good, though, right there. Wow, makes it look so easy, does he not?
47 for Howard. His career high is within reach, 53. And a foul on USC.
I think the question is, with them having to play tomorrow in the championship, does he have the opportunity to extend the game? Because if he does, he might go for 70. Marcus Howard. Wow.
Big Ten ACC Challenge, 2 powerhouse conferences, head-to-head, 28 teams, talent for days, blockbuster matchups. This is it, December 2nd through 4th.
Big Ten ACC Challenge is a blast year after year. We are having a blast. Marquette fans are having a good time here at the Orlando Invitational. Big lead over USC here in the semifinals, and it's all systems go for Marcus Howard. 40 points last night in the quarterfinals against Davidson. 47 today against USC. 9 of 15 from long range.
I believe this guy could get buckets in those Mickey Mouse ears. Don't you? Like right now, if he put Mickey Mouse ears on, I don't think he would miss a step.
You want to put him in sandals? Just
Mickey
to try to
Mouse
hold him
ears.
back. You want to put him in Mickey
Can we get
Mouse
Chase
ears.
Young?
Just put him in the goofy
Can we
suit.
get Chase
right?
Young on line 1? Maybe he can guard him.
He'll beat you in horse with all
question,
that on.
No question. Look at this.
Oh, number 10? Oh, not here.
Hey, that's hard, man. That's hard. No momentum, just to rise up from about 27. Shows that he is human, barely.
Fouls on Mobley is 4th. By the way, Onyeka Okongwu fouled out for Andy Enfield. 12 points, 4 rebounds for the stud freshman.
That's a blessing in disguise. At the end of the day, they're going to be playing again on Sunday in the third place game. Is that right?
Against Harvard.
The get-out game. Another opportunity. These tournaments provide, number one, great teaching opportunities for the head coaches and their staffs. Gives you a chance to try to figure out who you are against quality competition, but it also gives you a chance to pick up quality non-league victories. So even though tonight didn't go that well, they've got another great opportunity on Sunday if you're USC.
Mobley from way downtown, and Marquette fans want to flop there as Mobley hit the floor. We've seen that call on a number of occasions already this week.
Yeah, I think Doug Sermons has hit the flop limit.
Yeah.
He said, I'm all flopped out.
Well, and now Mobley is done. He just picked up number 5.
Yeah, don't say anything, kid. You've had a great game. Live to fight another day.
15 points, 9 rebounds to lead the Trojans.
Terrific talent. Just a tough night for USC, and give Marquette all of the credit for just that. Everybody that Wojo has put in the game has responded. They've been terrific defensively. They have battled through their own sets of foul trouble inside. And they also happen to have the best player on the floor wearing the best shoes. Marcus Howard. Incredible performance.
Oh, he missed a free throw. He's mortal. Career 90% free throw shooter. And somehow he has 3 misses today.
What is he, 12 for
15? Come on,
15?
Marcus Howard.
Yeah.
There you go. 48 points.
I like it. I like the show. I would imagine he'll have about another, I'm going to say the over-under for him exiting the game is about 4